Okay, let me just say this. Rap legend Juelz Santana is bugging. He just featured on the No Funny Shit podcast, and apparently he believes that kids shouldn't be reading and that math is way more important when it comes to entrepreneurship. Who says these things? A fiend, champ. That's who. The internet has since exploded and has dragged Juelz Santana for his insane rhetoric. Is Juelz still on that stuff? Hey champ, it's best that you stay tuned and find out.
Sipping slow, yakking the act, thinking I'm mad.
Oh champ. Run up these likes, and make sure you hit that hype button because hype points help the channel in a major way. So if you would hit that hype button, that would be great. Juelz Santana just featured on the No Funny Shit podcast, and boy oh boy, he has went viral for his insane take on kids not being able to read. Apparently he thinks kids don't need to read, champ. Apparently math is way more important. Now here's what I'll say. Math is incredibly important. Kids should know how to do basic math. But you need to read. Reading is fundamental, champ. Juelz says that entrepreneurship doesn't require any reading for whatever reason. He believes this for some reason. Now him saying this makes me believe, maybe you have a reading problem. Now listen, I don't know if Juelz can't read. I have no idea, but for him to say these things means that he doesn't understand the importance of reading. Because apparently being a dyslexic entrepreneur is beneficial. Ain't nothing wrong with being illiterate as long as you can count and do multiplication, division, math, and subtraction. Like, okay, you're an entrepreneur and you are given contracts because obviously you're going to work with other businesses. You're going to do work for other businesses. You're going to get contracted, to get things like partnerships, endorsement deals, things of that nature. Imagine receiving these contracts and not knowing what they say. Yeah, you're probably going to get That's right, champ. Yeah. You're going to get taken advantage of because you cannot read contracts. So you not being able to read would make it very much easier for you to get manipulated in contracts. Literally, you just get paid way less because you cannot read and you agreed to the bare minimum. For Juelz Santana, none of this matters. Imagine not being able to read a stop sign and then you hit someone, champ. See, this is why reading is a necessity, champ. You need to learn how to read, champ. There's signs on the road that says exit here and etc. If you can't read those things, champ, you're probably gonna get into an accident. Did you know that, champ? You might not make it to your destination. In fact, you might land in a river off of the goddamn bridge. But according to Juelz Santana, none of these things are actually important. Doesn't matter. As long as you can count, champ. Can you count how many feet of water you landed in off the bridge because you couldn't read the street signs, champ? That's it, champ. That's it. But in this viral clip of Juelz Santana saying some very insane things when it comes to children not being able to read, you'll see a few other things. Apparently, the people who are hosting the No Funny Shit podcast also have an insane reaction, as they should. Let's take a look.
And I think that shit gonna take over.
Nah, but seriously though,
his voice on
some G shit though, we gotta start teaching our kids though, just financial wealth and literacy and all that shit early, because by the time they get to 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses and how to. But they don't really need to know how to read.
Wait, stop.
I ain't gonna say that. I say that respectfully. I'm not saying that in a way to be literate, because you're not supposed to be illiterate, but you can.
What's more important, reading or math?
Math.
Told you.
Math. I think you could listen to a book on YouTube. You can still obtain the information. You don't have to know how to read. That's not reading and understanding. I believe common sense is better than everything. I'm a common sense nigga. I'd rather have 0 book smarts and common sense, be able to read the room, be able to read life, be able to read people. I try to understand people, understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, you can listen to a book. I just listen to the 48 Laws of Power. Not to.
You gotta read your contract, Els.
You don't have to
You can listen to that too. They got apps you can put it in and it'll read it to you. Are you crazy? Huh? It probably will. AI will now. That's what I'm saying. That's how freaky it is.
You don't have to read. Shit can be told to you.
It'll be. So, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like you don't need to know how to read.
Floyd Mayweather don't read that shit.
At a restaurant. Like, it's mad shit you gotta read.
You saying that, you just gotta know what you like.
You know what I want.
You ain't gotta read the restaurant. You can just say, what is this, a steak joint? I want steak, nigga. I want, what y'all steak come with? What y'all got? When the waiter come?
Reading way more important.
When the waiter come, you be like, what come with?
Did you hear that, champs? Apparently, we have to be relying on AI because we don't have to read ourselves. Something could just read it to us. Which is true, but what is the purpose of you hearing something if you can't comprehend it because you didn't read about it? I mean, if you don't know a definition of certain big words because you don't read, then how are you actually gonna take heed to the information provided, champ? See, this type of laziness is why society is backwards. Like I said before, reading is incredibly fundamental. The moment that you don't read and you don't have any book smarts, how in the world will you be able to obtain information elsewhere, champ? Juelz says we have AI, champ. We have these audio books. This is what we can use. We don't even need to read. Yes, you do, champ, because guess what? Sometimes technology just isn't gonna work properly, number one. And number two, you just need to understand naturally how to read because you're not gonna always have those tools to read you things. When you read something, you understand it more. You just hearing it is completely different. He says the math. He says kids should have financial literacy early, which I do agree with 100,000%. But champ, how are you gonna have financial literacy and not be able to read to get financial literacy, champ? Like, again, you say that people don't need to read books because audio books are available. Listen, man, you need to be able to read, period. All right, you need to be able to read because reading is just fundamental, something that you should know how to do. Without being able to read, you're kind of an idiot. I'm not gonna lie, champ, you're pretty much a bozo. And do I think you're a bozo for making the comments that you made? Yes, champ, I agree 1000%. I'm not saying you on that stuff, but I am saying you must be on that stuff to believe that the children don't need to read, champ, or need to be able to read. Like, what type of madness is that? Where did you get this logic? Where did you get this madness from? Who taught you this? Bro says AI. Bro says audiobooks. Did Juelz not know that AI isn't the most reliant on reading because AI often mispronounces words? So if someone wasn't able to read and they heard AI reading and AI is known for mispronouncing words, names, and etc., do you think that it would be smart for someone to repeat those bad habits of a robot that is reading to them, champ? Because in the real world, if you mispronunciate a bunch of things, people are just gonna think something might be wrong with you. Reading is fundamental. Once again, Juel Santana looks like a complete bozo right now, like 1000%. Now, he makes great music, don't get me wrong, he's a legend to his own right. He's made some songs and freestyles that I definitely enjoy, but champ, I don't enjoy you putting out this idiocy to the world, champ. Kids, it is best that you read. Stop listening to bozos like Juelz Santana, who used to be addicted to lean. Like, seriously, I don't know what he was thinking, but truthfully, he wasn't even thinking. What he said was completely bizarre. Now, I'm a believer that, hey, champ, maybe you just aren't the best reader in the world. And that's probably why you ended up in some bad situations later on in life. Because reading is something that you need to achieve, champ. Read to achieve, champ. Yeah, they used to say that back in elementary school and all that, champ. What's this? This is confusing me. This is foolish. This is dumb, but this is also Juelz Santana and his logic and him thinking that kids don't need to read because math is way more of an importance in life. All champ. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this madness? I need y'all to let me know what y'all feel in the comment section when it comes to this, man. Do y'all think that reading ain't that important and that AI and audio books are just as good for people who cannot read and they don't need to read because reading doesn't mean anything when there's AI and audiobooks available? Listen. I need you to let me know in the comment section, alright? Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share the video. Also, please make sure that you definitely hit that hype button because we need that, alright? Also, subscribe to the main second channel known as Big Gotham with nearly 8,000 subscribers. It's a lit channel. As well as the mayor's Discord known as Big Gotham, which is an amazing Discord, as well as the mayor's Twitter community known as Showface News. Listen, every link is in the pinned comment section. Hit those links. And one more thing before we get all the way up out of here. Are you ready, gang? It's the mayor, the one and only real New York mayor, F. Mondani, and you're rocking with the town favorite Showface News, Big Gotham, and you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Hit the like, share the video. I'm going salute.